And so, the next day, at the Gotham City Art Center...
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin Gotham City's International Art Contest, I'd like to introduce the 5 world-famous artists who are competing. The renowned Spanish artist, well known for his pink and blue periods, Mr. Pablo Pincus. I'm sure you all know our American artist, Mr. Jackson Potluck. The noted Italian artist, painter of the world-famous fresco Midnight Snack, Leonardo da Vinci. And the Dutch artist, founder of the Neo-Gammon School of Art, Mr. Vincent van Gogh. And now, finally, Gotham City's own entry in the art contest, the Joker!
How can they clap for that crook?
Don't forget, Dick, this is a hometown crowd, and Joker's from Gotham City.
The artists have 3 minutes to complete a painting. At the end of that time, the judges will select a winner and award the grand prize. Ready, artists? On your mark, get set.
Modern art tends to be rather unrestrained, Dick.
Unrestrained?
Yes.
Governor Stonefellow should declare this place a disaster area.
Isn't it magnificent?
Glorious.
Joker, the time is almost up and you haven't started your painting.
Started? My dear, I've almost finished. Oh, yes, every line in place, every color balanced. Just needs one more little touch. Voila.
Now, gentlemen, let us consider the works of these marvelous artists.
Interesting use of color. A fine example of neo-realism. Excellent harmonic composition. A fine study in abstract. What is that?
My painting is titled Death of a Mauve Bat.
Where is the bat?
Well, the bat, gentleman, is dead. It died in 1936, a very bad year for bats.
Of course, the bat is dead. It's symbolic.
Symbolic of what?
The emptiness of modern life. What else? Gentlemen, come with me. There's absolutely no doubt about who the winner is.
I kind of like what the monkey did.
I think our decision should be unanimous. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to announce that the winner of the Gotham City International Art Contest is the Joker! Joker's painting, Death of a Mauve Bat, will hang in an honored place in the Gotham City Museum.
The sections of my films that have dealt with what I consider to be beyond what I'm able to express in the script in words, dialogue, you then have to look to art, really, to teach you or guide you in terms of expressing things beyond dialogue and narration. I'm not sure if I can remember exactly when I first saw a picture by Francis Bacon, but I would have been very young. I mean, he's always been my favorite artist. I just find a tremendous atmosphere to his paintings, a sort of moving quality. I think there are, for me, suggestions of distortions of memory in the way the faces are portrayed, in a way that I found fascinating. In various ways in my work, I've tried to echo or represent cinematically. I think I'm very, very drawn to the bleakness of it, really, because I think, whilst it might be emotionally uncomfortable, the bleakness of what he's trying to present there, it makes you think about the limitations of human experience and human understanding of our own place in things and all of that. Heath and John Caglione as makeup artist and myself are trying to figure out a way to take the clown makeup but make it more threatening somehow, more real world, and texture it, really. And I wound up taking a book of Bacon paintings and showing them a lot of the different distortions of the way that the paint would run together and the colors would mix. And we wound up applying that to the makeup and letting it have a sort of slightly worn-through quality and a sweaty. I think what Heath was able to do with his makeup, with the makeup artist, is kind of really uses his face as a canvas, you know, and really try and achieve some of that tortured quality and some of that threat in the actual makeup of the Joker. I really love the black spaces. It makes me think a lot about the geography of the painting, about where that figure sits in the world. And I quite like the paradoxical nature of it. The more he removes, the less he tells you really about what's out there, the more I find myself thinking about what's in that dark space behind and everything. Because you never have the resources to fully create the world that you're creating, so you are leaving a lot of voids, you're leaving a lot of gaps. And so part of what you start trying to do is using those necessary gaps intelligently, so that where you're not showing something, it's helping you rather than feeling the limitations of the world you've created. One of the interesting things for me about seeing paintings in real life is it's a completely different experience than when you see them in a book. And particularly with oil painting, you know, we were talking about Bacon, and you look at oil painting to be able to see the thickness of the paint, to see how the brush moved and the brush strokes and everything. You really start to feel the personality behind it, feel the craft of it, which is very inspiring. Any way in which you can get a little bit more of handmade quality into what you're doing, a little bit more of a personality to it, I think that helps you really create an atmosphere for the audience. And so one of the reasons that I love film is that it is, as an analog medium, it has a lot of life to it. It has a lot of, even in its imperfections, it's got a lot of personality to it. And when you get into the realm of digital imaging, it's, I think, inherently a little sterile. inherently there's a little bit more of a barrier between what you're trying to do and reaching the audience. Having other frames of reference, having other windows into other possibilities is essential.
We have full details on the Colorado shooting spree inside a midnight screening of The Dark Knight Rises. Welcome back to Clevver News. The top story breaking everyone's heart today is centered around a 24-year-old man who opened fire inside an Aurora, Colorado movie theater playing The Dark Knight Rises. A shooter, a man by the name of James Holmes, was identified and later arrested. He's been described as tall and muscular and a former University of Colorado at Denver student studying neuroscience. He was wearing a riot helmet, a gas mask, and a bulletproof vest, and he was dressed entirely in black clothing at the time of the shooting. Witnesses are describing the horrific incident as utter chaos. The gunman threw a canister of tear gas across the theater before he opened fire. And as of now, CNN is reporting that 12 people are dead and 38 are being treated for injuries. The Pentagon confirmed that members of the U.S. military were among the casualties. A 3-month-old baby is reported to be the youngest victim that was targeted. However, the hospital confirms that the child was treated and released. The gunman went into the theater with a lot of ammunition. He was stocked with a rifle, a shotgun, and 2 handguns. Eyewitnesses at this tragic incident report that there was a pause between shooting sprees. Holmes took a moment to reload his weapon for round 2. The movie studio behind The Dark Knight Rises, Warner Brothers, released a statement about the incident saying, quote, "Warner Brothers is deeply saddened to learn about this shocking incident. We extend our sincere sympathies to the families and loved ones of the victims at this tragic time." Also worth mentioning is that the studio has canceled the premiere of The Dark Knight Rises, scheduled to occur tonight in Paris. Additionally, Deadline.com is reporting that Warner Brothers has pulled the trailer for an upcoming Ryan Gosling film called Gangster Squad, which up until now had been running in tandem with The Dark Knight Rises. We'll be sure to keep you posted on this tragic massacre all day long as new updates become available. Everyone at Clevver News sends their sincerest condolences to anyone who may have been affected by this tragedy. Till next time, I'm Deidre Behar. Thank you for watching.
I've always been very moved by the movements of the mouth and the shape of the mouth and the teeth, and I like the, you may say, the glitter and colour that comes from the mouth. And I've always hoped, in a sense, to be able to paint the mouth like Monet painted a sunset, but I've never succeeded in doing it. But I was also very influenced by the Eisenstein film, the Potemkin, and the Odessa sequence, in which is this wonderful shot of the nurse screaming. And also, when I first went to Paris, I found in an old bookshop a book on diseases of the mouth, which was beautifully coloured, hand-coloured. The plates were hand-coloured, and that it had a tremendous effect on me. And I don't know if this obsession when I was much younger with the mouth has a lot of sexual implications, as people say it may have, and I believe psychologically it is supposed to. But anyhow, whatever it was, I was at that time very obsessed by that image.
So you might well have been interested in painting open mouths and teeth, even if you hadn't been painting the screen.
I think I might.
Nevertheless, you did become involved with painting the human screen.
I did, and I've always hoped, I've always wanted and never succeeded in also painting the smile, but I have never been able to do it.
Presently, in the handsome mansion of Baby Jane's filthy rich father.
Do have more chicken, Joker. You need your strength.
I could exist on 2 grapes and a thimble of water, but my muse is starving.
More chicken for the Joker's muse. Tell me, Joker, where do you get your ideas for your paintings?
Inspirations, my dear, from my muse and from beautiful admirers.
If only I could feel that I'd inspired a great work of art.
Oh, don't worry, my dear. You will, you will. Ah, a message from my muse.
What does it say?
Clear the table. Paints, bring me paints.
Charles, you heard the Joker?
Never mind, I brought my own. Ah, yes, thank you. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, magnificent, magnificent. Magnificent, look at that, magnificent. I tell you, I've never seen anything so beautiful in my life. Oh, what a magnificent artist I am. Oh, a veritable masterpiece. All right, boys, go to work on it.
But Joker, that's a priceless antique table.
Out with the old, in with the new.
Joker, they're destroying it!
Oh, not destroying, my dear, creating. Look at it this way. You're not losing a table, you're gaining a masterpiece.
It's very bad art made for very bad people.